Awesome. Coach Brown and Coach Longo talked a lot about running and especially on first downs, trying to be better. What do you see from a lineman's perspective? What are the areas you feel like you guys can get better at to make that happen?
Yeah, of course we have to, get better at running and the first down, like you just said. But like we have to really come together as like a whole offense. Block who we're supposed to block, execute, and then we can make those holes for our special backs. And I want to see them succeed so much. So I want them to be able to get loose, and I see it in practice all the time. So once we get the execution down, we'll be just fine, and they can run all over the place.
What's been some maybe fine-tuned tweaks that happened this week already in practice to make the run game a little better, a little more efficient in terms of blocking and stuff?
Being more physical, making our double teams look cleaner, climbing up to the backers, stuff like that. And we had one practice today, and we really worked on a lot of those stuff, and we're going to continue to get better throughout the week. And I think we're going to have a really good run plan for VTech.
How would you evaluate your play so far? I think, according to Pro Football Focus, you've graded out pretty well and definitely improved from your first two seasons starting.
Yeah, well, it's great to be recognized, honestly, and I think I always get better. I'm pretty hard on myself, and so I think I can get better, and I push myself every day to do that. And I think I can definitely get better in my run block and my pass blocking as well, but I'm really focusing on my run block a little more.
We talked to Mac and Coach Longo yesterday, and they both specifically pointed out the pass protection having clearly improved. Mm-hmm. What about the pass protection when you watch it on film is better than it was a year ago?
Well, as we watched it on film a year ago, we were kind of having a mentality to set back and like have these pass rushers hit their moves on us, and we have to react to them. And honestly, we don't. Coach Big Nell, he came in and told us we don't have to do that. We can be more aggressive. I know pass is a weird saying. Pass isn't so passive, right? So we can actually go out and attack the defender and dictate where they go instead of them dictating to us where they go.
You talked about that, I think, when we talked to you in August about that being one of the differences. Mm-hmm. How quickly were you able to see in an actual game situation where, hey, this is better, this is working better for us? Exactly.
Back in fall camp, I seen the difference, and when we playing, the difference is really apparent. It's much easier for us to dictate to where the defender have to do what we want them to do than them running at us full speed while we backing up past it, and that's pretty easy for the defender to get around us. So I really appreciate the change, and I'm glad that we're getting better, and we will continue to get better throughout the season.
Awesome. But Mac and Phil were talking yesterday about maybe trying to pare down the running back rotation a little bit, maybe lean on two guys more. I think Phil was saying let him get a lather going, something like that. Like, how do you see that playing out with the running backs? They said a lot could be determined this week in practice. And just what do you think about that? Maybe getting less guys involved with more reps.
Yeah, I mean, definitely less guys being more involved will make them have a better flow in the middle of the game, right? So nobody really had their flow going, so we didn't really have like that one back to go to. But we have, like I said before, we have some very good backs, and I can see any of them getting off at any time. So it's going to be interesting to see if we cut it down, and when we do it, who's going to be the guys and who's not. So I'm excited, honestly.
So what do you think we take for granted, outsiders take for granted about Drake May? Because yes, he had a redshirt year, but first year quarterbacks aren't supposed to be this good this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Drake, like you said, he's an amazing quarterback. He does some special things. He's a special talent. Yeah, he's really he could have sulked and sat back, watched Sam, do his thing last year, but he continued to work hard and continue to build on what he had, and he put himself in a great position like he in right now. And like you said, he's doing some phenomenal things, and I'm proud of him, honestly. I love seeing him like throw that ball, make plays with his legs, and I'm proud of him.
How does an offensive line go about getting more physical in the middle of the season? Like, I mean, you just played a game a couple days ago, you're trying to get ready for another game. I mean, you're trying to preserve your bodies in some ways. Like, I mean, is that an incredibly hard thing to do, to try to get more physical, the nature of the things that you do?
I mean, like you said, it's the nature of the game. We got to be physical, and we have to be able to bring that every day, right? And so it's really a mentality to it. So if you flip that switch, you're going to be physical. So I mean, we do have to look at our bodies. We get treatment and all that, but we're in season, so we just gonna have to fight through that, right?
So maybe getting the mind there, like, as opposed to like punching somebody in the
Yeah,
mouth.
exactly. It's a mindset.
Is there a fundamental aspect of that too? Maybe it's how you guys shoot off the ball on the snap, or is there where your toes are pointed, or anything along those lines with fundamentals that can actually help you with the physicality?
Yeah, fundamentally, we have to get lower, get our hand placement in the right spots, and that will, of course, help us. But like I said, we're going to do that, and it's really just that mindset that you're going to get lower, you're going to put your hands in the right spot, you know? So that's what I believe.
Awesome. Last Tuesday, Julian Barnes stood here and said he was going to start at right tackle.
Yeah.
And that someone like Adorno and Roland were compete for right guard. And then I think it was Barnes starting at right guard and Roland at right tackle. What happened there? What's going on the right side of the line, in your opinion?
Things changed. You know, I thought Will was going to start at right tackle. But
Will was?
Yeah, I thought he was. But Spencer came in. He did his thing. And he was injured for Georgia State, so he didn't play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought we was gonna have the same rotation, but he fortunately came back and he was healthy and he played well on Saturday. So I was happy with his performance.
When did that switch happen? When did Roland take it over during the week? Take it back over, I guess.
Maybe like on a Thursday.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, honestly.
I appreciate that. Tuesday. I appreciate the information.
He hadn't played against anybody like Notre Dame before when he was at Harvard. So there's been a lot of new for him the last month or so. How has he handled that? And how have you guys kind of prepped him a little bit for the degree of physicality and combination with speed and quickness with the kind of guys you face, like for Notre Dame, for example?
Well, yeah, he's already a pretty physical guy, and he's played a lot of football, but maybe not to the caliber of the high Division I football status. But honestly, we just worked with him. Coach worked on his pass sets and all that because we knew he was going to get a lot of pass rushes, and he did a good job of not setting back and being passive. Like I said, he was being aggressive with his pass sets and going out to get them, and it really helped him. And I was really pleased and proud to see him do well on Saturday.
Also, what do you think about the start of ACC play here? I mean, as you're getting into, like, I guess, how your season really will be measured. I mean, do you look at it as a fresh start, or like, just how do you look at going about this in the ACC and playing these teams that you know so well?
Oh, yeah, I definitely look at it as a fresh start, but let's not forget what we have done and what we can take away from the loss we just had. And I feel like we're definitely building and will continue to build on the loss from Notre Dame we just had last week. And like you said, it is going to be a fresh start. ACC, we're 0-0 right now, so I'm really excited to see what this team can do, and I know this team can be special, and I believe that we're going to have a special year.
You guys good?
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Will.
Great. Good talking to you, Asim.
All right, appreciate it.